Hello, 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 and welcome back to Mondays with Matt. To everybody watching live or watching the replay, hola. I'm so happy to have you here. We're going to give everybody a minute to jump on. As you might notice, we're not in the normal studio today. We are outside of my backyard because it is an absolutely gorgeous day here in Portlandia, and I wanted to share it with all of you. So say hi, give me a one, let me know you're excited to be here with Mondays with Matt, because it is my honor and privilege to come connect with you each and every week on this show. For those of you that don't know, my name is Matt Schaefer. I'm a transformational speaker and coach for women. I coach women around empowerment, connection, and relationship, and I am absolutely obsessed with the work that I do and the women that I serve, my incredible, marvelous, magnificent magnets. Many of whom watch the show from all over the world each and every week, like Heather, Haruska, Casperson. Hi, Heather. Good to see you. Jordan Thomas is here. Say hi, y'all. Let me know where you're watching from, what you're excited about. JC Flynn is here. And this is my weekly show, Mondays with Matt. This is my weekly personal development show that I've been coming to you and giving to you each and every week since January 2nd of 2017, if you can believe it. Yep, each and every week I come to you and have a dynamic, co-creative conversation around personal development, transformation, emotional intelligence, spirituality, love, relationships, connection, basically all the stuff that I'm learning and experiencing that's alive for me in the moment. I come to you once a week and have a dynamic conversation with you around it. So this is a conversation. Hi, Valerie. Good to see you. Amanda Wolford's here. I am connecting with you during this show. So answer, engage, respond, and let's talk about these topics, because these are the sort of topics that I guarantee you will change your life. Hi, Elodie. So good to see you, my dear. So many of my amazing magnets are joining right now. So I miss y'all, and I'm so happy to connect with you here in this weekly format. Nicole Amy Lawrence is here from South Korea. Hi, Amy. We've missed you too. She's all the way over in South Korea. She's connected. Tracy Carter's here. It's just such a privilege to be with y'all. And the topic of today's show is something that's so important. Hi, Trish Learn. Good to see you, hon. How y'all doing? Let me know. Let me know how you're doing, what you're changing, what are you manifesting, what are you creating in your life right now, especially all of you who have just completed the initial chapter of the Mastery of Magnetism method. Let me know what you're creating, what you're working on, what your challenges are. I'd love to hear it. Hi, Betsy. Betsy Wurzel's here. Hi, Betsy. So wonderful to have all my sisters reconnecting here in this beautiful container. Dana Cote is here. I love you ladies so much. And hi, Louisa. Louisa, one of our amazing coaches. Give me a one if y'all love Louisa. I know I love Louisa. Louisa is one of the biggest rock stars on the planet, and I am so blessed to have her on the team with me. And the theme of this week's show is something that I don't know if there's a more important topic than what we're going to be talking about today, right? And it's doing it your way. Doing it your way, okay? And I was inspired to do the theme of this week's Mondays with Matt based upon, you may have watched a karaoke performance that my amazing, wonderful girlfriend sort of impromptu. One of our things we've started doing is every week we go to this amazing karaoke bar called the Alibi, this tiki-themed karaoke bar that's about a mile from my house, and we go to karaoke night on Friday night, and it is just such a beautiful experience to get back into doing karaoke. I've missed it so much during quarantine, and I did a song a couple days ago. It was one of the best karaoke nights I've ever gone to. Everybody that was up there performing was just a rock star, and I'm a karaoke monster. I've been going to karaoke for years, and I've been obsessed with it since I went through my leadership program. And when you go to a karaoke night, most of the time, 70% of the people are very newbies. They're very sort of like green people, and they get up there and just sort of do their thing. And then 20 to 30% are people that are like legit people that are like, really good and practiced and veterans and in it to win it, right? But this week when I was there, oh my gosh, on Friday, Becky Jean and I were there, and it was like American Idol tryouts at karaoke night. It was absolutely it was next level, right? So I'm like, okay, I really need to bring my A game for this karaoke night, And so I started off with, of course, The Real Slim Shady. How can you not love that song? It's my tried and true classic. It's my go-to, right? And then for my second song, I was like, okay, what else do I want to sing? What's a big song? And it was right at the end of the night. So I was basically closing out the night where like everybody there was like a professional karaoke singer. Oh yeah, let me know what your favorite karaoke song is, please, here in the comments. We're getting lots of love for Louisa in the comments too, which absolutely love that. And congratulations to Betsy for getting her first celebrity guest on her podcast that she's got. You're an inspiration, Betsy. I'm so proud of you for that. That's incredible, right? So I had to pick a song, right? I had to pick a song that was going to be, a real barn burner to end the night. And I'm like, what song do I feel is the most authentic to me, that I'm going to be able to bring the most energy to, that's going to resonate the most with everybody that was there, and it was a wide crowd, right? There was like a guy in drag who was just a total amazing diva who got up there and sang some amazing songs, and there were like just this woman who just was singing like Beyonce, and these like it was just an incredible spectrum of people. So I'm like, what song would embody and capture the energy of this experience so perfectly and of my life, right? And it was My Way by Frank Sinatra. Give me one if y'all know about My Way. It's one of my favorite songs. Heather says I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. Absolute classic. Hi, Caitlin. Good to see you, my dear. Unchained Melody, Jacqueline. I love it. Cassie sings songs she loves. That's wonderful. Carmela says Don't Stop Believing. Also a classic. So I was like, I wanted to do My Way. And as I got up there to sing it, whenever I go to do a karaoke song, I always do my best to really drop myself into the emotion of the song. Whenever I get up to really do any kind of musical performance, right? I used to play saxophone. I've done a lot of musical performance in my life. And when I get up there, I was like, I want to really embody the energy of this. And if you watch my performance, I think that, I hope that y'all felt the energy that I brought to that performance, right? Because in that song, Frank Sinatra, you can hear when he's singing that song, that he is really living the lyrics of that song, And so on this, and really, I think it's so powerful for us to really reflect on our lives and ask ourselves truly, are we living our lives in our own way, right? Are we living our life on our terms? Are we able to look back at the end of our lives and say, you know what? I did it my way. I didn't do it anybody else's way. I was unapologetic in the way that I lived my life. I don't think there are a few things that are more important for us as individuals, right, than if we can look back at our lives or at any chapter of our lives and say, you know what? We dealt with whatever shit we dealt with in our life. But at the end of the day, when I look back at my life, I can say unapologetically, this was the way that I did it on my terms, right? So I want you to start off by asking yourself, what would it look like for you to live your life your way? And so let's start off by looking back, right? Because the whole theme of that song is, right, the guy who's singing that song, the lyrics are, this person is on their deathbed. And he's looking back at his life, and he's looking back, and he's looking at all the trials and tribulations and the challenges and the heartbreak and the sorrow and the victories. And, he's saying, whatever I went through, I did it my way, and so what does it look like for you to do it your way? So let's look back at our lives, right, up until now, and ask ourselves, have we been doing it our way? Because what are other ways? Because if the theme of that song is, I did it my way, and that's such a proud declaration, then what is that operating in contrast to? It's operating in contrast to the fact that a lot of people don't live their lives their way, right? They live their lives someone else's way. So what does it look like for us to live our lives someone else's way, right? It looks like us giving our power away, giving our decision-making away, being, beholden to our cultural conditioning, to our parents, to our societal expectations, right? If I were to live my life, yes, exactly, reacting to other people, right? Allowing other people to dictate the terms of our lives, living in the shadows, exactly. Jenny Achetan says responding to others and reacting, exactly. Operating from space of reaction. Who give me a one if you want to give that one a big fuck that. Dana says fuck that, and I am right there with you, And I saw a lot of people as I was, embarking on my own life's journey, and I decided to go to law school. That was my first big step I took, sort of like what I thought was into my power, into my own purpose, right? As I went into being a lawyer, right, and I recognized that it was not in alignment for me. I recognized that it was not my way. I looked around me and I saw a lot of other people that I went to school with who were new attorneys, and I saw that they were feeling exactly like I did, like exactly like I was. They were feeling jaded and disempowered and burnt out and freaking out about like what the actual job was of being a lawyer. But you know what they were doing? They were saying, well, this sucks and I hate this and I may never like this, but I have all this debt, right? I have all these expectations. I went to school for all this time, so I might as well, I have to do this. I have to do this, right? So it's operating from this delusion that you do not have a choice. And this is an important point I want to make for y'all, that no matter what has happened in your life, no matter how many decisions you made in one direction, no matter how committed you are into a relationship, a career, a way of life, a trajectory, a house, fucking whatever it is, you are never trapped. You are never stuck. A new path, a new directive, a new identity, a new relationship, a new career. Everything is one decision away. One decision, one step. But so many people get ensnared by guilt. They get ensnared by perceived responsibility. They get ensnared by something called the sunk cost fallacy. Give me a one if y'all have heard of the sunk cost fallacy. Have y'all heard of that? Okay. It's a very cool concept. It's a concept that I've studied a little bit, and it's the premise of the sunk cost fallacy is that because I have invested time, energy, a significant amount of resources in a thing, therefore I have to do it. And is that true, right? Is it true? Like, I invested $140,000 in a law school education, you know. I busted my ass for 4 years. You know, who was it? Jenny asked, you know, what did I think why did you think it was your way, Matt? Well, so Jenny, I mean, at the time, I was thinking I wanted to own my voice. I think she's asking why I went to law school, right? Or why I thought being a lawyer was my way. Well, I was like, I want to have an abundant life, right? So there was money, right? There was like, I want to own my voice. I want to leverage my gifts in a significant way. And I'm like, well, I'm a brilliant writer and I'm a brilliant speaker. So what's a great way for me to leverage those things than being a lawyer? So I thought like it was going to be my path, you know, and I invested a ton of time and a ton of energy and a ton of money and a ton of my heart and my soul, right, into becoming a lawyer. I got arrested. I went through a diversion program for 16 months while in law school, blood, sweat, and tears. You know, I put all this time, I invested all this time and energy into it. And then at the end of the day, I got to the end result. I got to the goal, right? I got to my mission objective from all that sacrifice and all that work. And I realized I didn't like it. I didn't like my daily life. I didn't like who I was becoming. I didn't like how I felt. And I sure as hell didn't like the people whose lives I was working around. I didn't like how they were living their lives. I didn't like their energy. I didn't like where this trip was taking me, right? And the sunk cost fallacy is, well, even though I don't like where I'm at now, because of all the time and energy I've invested up until now, that this is something that I have to do. I have to do this. I have to go against what's in alignment for me because I've already spent all this time and energy to get myself here. You know what I'm saying? It's another example of this. Give me a one if you've ever felt that way. If you've ever felt that way in your life, right? Another example of this would be like you spend all this money to take your kids to Disneyland. You know, you spend all this time and money to take your kids to Disneyland, and you get to Disneyland, right? And after 2-3 hours in Disneyland, your kids are tired, you're exhausted, you've been on some rides, the lines are really long, and you're like, damn, I kind of want to leave. Why don't we, like, everybody wants to leave, but then because you've spent so much time and money and energy to be there, you force yourself and your whole family to keep grinding away in Disneyland for the rest of the day because you've already spent the money. You see what I'm saying? That's a smaller micro example of that. Jenny says marriage felt like that. There you go, Jenny. I was alluding to that because a lot of times I think relationships are one of the greatest places where we can really painfully embody the sunk cost fallacy, that we're trapped under the weight of the investment of our decision. You know what I'm saying? And so the biggest thing I want to emphasize right now about doing it our way, about doing it your specific way, is that nothing can dictate that for you. Not the amount of time and energy you've invested into any one thing, not anything that anyone else tells you. A lot of people stay lawyers or they stay in miserable relationships because their friends or family or people around them tell them this is what they should be doing. How could you walk away from something that you put this much time and energy into? And here's what I want to really emphasize for you right now is that if it is not your way, if it is not in alignment for who you are right now, it does not matter what anyone else is saying, what any amount of time and energy you put into it. It's not your way. Therefore, you have the sovereign power, not just the sovereign power, but the sacred responsibility to walk away from that. Because the most important thing when it comes to your life is that you live it your way, authentic, in alignment, fulfilled, engaged, joyful, free. That is the way that you get to live your life. That is your sacred responsibility as a being, is to begin a continual process of asking yourself, is this in alignment for me? Is this path my way? Because here's the sneaky thing, right? What is your way will change. It will change. And the process of you shifting and adapting to what is in alignment for you, to what your way actually is, the process of you shifting and adapting to your new alignment will be painful. Think about the lyrics of the song, right? I'm sure there were times, I'm sure you knew, where I bit off more than I could chew. Yet through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced them all and I stood tall. And I did it my way. I'm not going to sing the song for y'all. But think about what he's saying there, right? That a lot of times living your life your way means you facing down massive adversity, you walking away from something that you were deeply attached to, you facing extreme resistance, not just from yourself, but from the people around you, from the world around you. Let the record show I took the blows and did it my way. So a key point flowing from this song, and to be honest, flowing from my own life, is that doing it your way, living your way, your unapologetic aligned truth, is not always going to be easy. In fact, it will often be difficult, particularly when you're transitioning from one layer of alignment that you've become attached to a new way that is authentic for you. Because what is it going to require for you to shift from one path to another path? It's going to require surrender. It's going to require release. It's going to require you letting go of things that you have defined yourself by. It's going to require you to sacrifice elements of your identity. And give me a one if you have ever had to do that before, if you've had to walk away from a relationship that was so toxic, or a job that was eating your soul, right? I mean, I had to walk away from a couple huge careers that I thought were the pinnacle of who I was going to be. Being a lawyer, hundreds of thousands of dollars, 4 years of work, back-breaking work, incredible, indescribable stress, right? Walked away. Wasn't my way anymore. It was my way for a while. It got me down the road, right, to where I needed to be. And then it was time to leave, you know? And then becoming a restaurant owner, right? Moving across the country, getting hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt, working 120 hours a week to the point where I got addicted to Oxycontin just to deal with the pain of my life, the pain of physical pain in my body, and the emotional pain of making a huge choice and realizing a couple years in that I was completely screwed, that we were never gonna make it, right? I realized after a while it was no longer my way. So the key point I want to make here is that, you know, what your way may be for 1 year or one season of your life will oftentimes shift into another way. Okay? So think about that. This is such an important concept for you to look at, right? So it's not that these other courses, these other trajectories of my life, being a lawyer, owning a restaurant, going on the road as a professional speaker, it's not that they weren't my way. They were my way for a little while. But then I had to take the blows, right? I bit off more than I could chew. I faced it all. I stood tall. And then I did it my way because I was willing to walk away. I was willing to walk away, and I had the strength to ask myself, what is my new way? Okay? So checking in with yourself and asking yourself, is the path that I am currently on, why am I still on it? Am I still on it because it's still authentic to me? Or am I on it because I feel like I have to be that way? Am I on it because of the sunk cost fallacy that it's taken me so much time and energy to get here that I couldn't possibly leave? Because you always have a choice. And your entire reality, your life, your career, your identity can shift in one moment. Are you with me? Give me a 1 if you're with me on this. So I want you to tap into this. I want you to connect with this concept and recognize that there is nothing more important. No matter what you've built, no matter how much time you've put into any one thing, there's nothing more important than you living your life on your terms, unapologetically, in alignment, moving forward in a way that is expansive and constructive and invigorating, right? And vibrant and revitalizing. Your life wasn't meant to be easy necessarily, but it sure as hell was meant to be fulfilling. Okay? Truly. Wendy says sometimes it takes a while to discover your authentic path. Absolutely, Wendy. Some people, it takes decades. You know, some people never find it. Tragically, because they're so committed to living life the way that everyone else has told them to live their life that they never figure out what living their life their way looks and feels like. And that is the fucking tragedy of so many people's lives, is they spend their entire life living their life for other people. And give me a 1 if you know people who have lived their entire life living for other people, living their entire life because it's what they're supposed to do, living their entire life because they have all these, indoctrinated sense of obligation and duty and responsibility to people that truly none of it exists. None of it exists outside of their own head and outside of some inherent bullshit obligations that other people have tried to press upon you. So truly, at the end of the day, you don't owe anybody your life. Okay? You don't owe anybody. Nobody has the right to ask you to sacrifice your life for them. Valerie says, 1,000% my mom. Yeah, Valerie, and I would say, 1,000% a lot of people's moms. Let's see. Heather asks, how do you walk away from someone you love because they have a problem with alcohol addiction? That's a big question, Heather. That's a big question. And so it really comes down to, are you willing to sacrifice your life for someone else's life? How much do you value your life? And Heather, I know how painful it is. And at the end of the day, remember, it is not our job to save the lives of the people that love us. Are you with us? At the end of the day, you can never save someone else's life. It has to come from within them. Transformation, you cannot, force someone to transform their life. You cannot love somebody enough to transform their lives for them. At the end of the day, it is up to each and every one of us to take deep, personal, 100% ownership and responsibility for the trajectory of our lives, right? And if someone is unwilling or unable, and I'm not going to say unable, because everybody is able to face down addiction. I've done it, right? I know innumerable people in my life who have faced down addictions to sex, addictions to technology, addictions to heroin, addictions to alcohol, even in my own family. I know people that have faced down a lot of stuff, and they've emerged on the other side, They took the blows, right? And they did it their way. But your way doesn't get to be giving your power away to a substance. Your way doesn't get to be giving your power away to a bottle or a baggie or a toxic relationship or anything. You have complete power. Okay? So the Matt challenge for this week is to look at your life. Look at your, and Anne makes a great point here, Heather, just to chime in on what we were just talking about, is that sometimes walking away from an alcoholic is that pain point, is that pain threshold that they need to experience in order to change. Because unfortunately for a lot of people, it's kind of human nature that the incentive of positivity is way less of a motivator for change than the pain of loss. The pain of loss, the pain of regret, the pain of losing what's most dear and important to them. So people have to hit rock bottom, especially if they've been dependent and attached to something, a super toxic relationship, or liquor or heroin or whatever. They have to lose it all. They have to lose it all before they can finally realize, okay, well now nobody else is going to enable or rubber stamp and give me a pass on my bullshit anymore. Because they know. As an alcoholic, right? I've never been an alcoholic, but I've been dependent upon other stuff, and I've been very attached to other self-destructive behaviors in my life. And it wasn't until I reached the threshold of almost dying, right? It wasn't until I woke up not breathing in my sleep for the third time from a combination of alcohol, Oxycontin, and Xanax. It wasn't until the third time that happened that I realized, well, I'm either going to figure this out or I'm going to die and I'm going to lose it all. And I'm going to be an embarrassment to my family, and I'm going to never figure out who I am, why I'm so unhappy, or what the meaning of my life truly is. But I sure as hell knew that the meaning of my life was not to die in my sleep trying to numb myself out from the pain of my own existence. I knew that was not why I was here, you know? So you got to be willing to connect to something deeper than that. You got to be willing to anchor yourself in faith that there is something more here for you. There is a cosmic destiny, right? That is laid out before all of us. You know, that is just waiting for us to say, I am willing to live my life my way. I'm not going to do it for anybody else. I'm not going to sacrifice my life for the sakes or the motives or the emotions or the needs or the codependencies of any other human being on the fucking planet. I'm going to live my highest truth. And if I don't know what that is, I'm going to find it. So the first step in living your life your way is recognizing, so this is step one, right? Looking at your life up until now and asking yourself, am I living my life my way? Or am I living my life for someone else? Am I living my life for a false ideology? Exactly, Valerie Rubin. The universe does conspire for you. It conspires with you. The instant that you make that choice that I'm going to live my life solely and exclusively for myself because it is my sacred responsibility to do so, the universe says, and so it is, right? So look back at your life. Step one of the challenge is to look back at your life and ask yourself, up until now, have I been living my life my way? No matter how many blows you've taken, no matter how much shit you've gone through, like all that stuff, ask yourself, have I been owning my sovereign right as a human being to declare and understand the nature of my life? Carmela says, I am living my life my way now. Boom! I love it. I love it so much, in alignment with myself. So then, regardless of what you've been doing up until now, because I do not want you to spend your life looking in the rearview mirror the whole time. Okay? Cassie says, I'm living my life as of right. Meow. That's what I'm talking about, Cassie. So regardless of how you've been doing it up until now, that's just the context, right? I want you to really focus on who you are right now. Based upon who you are right now, what does living your life your way look like moving forward? Moving forward. Wendy says, I am owning my sovereign right. Amen, Wendy. Wendy is a queen. I'm so proud of you. So moving forward, what does it look like for you to live your life your way? What relationships get to shift or be released, right? What careers get to be adapted or changed or released? What aspects of your life do you want to change? Do you want to adapt? Do you want to shift? Do you want to let go of? You're never trapped. This present moment that we're all experiencing and sharing in the same moment is a beautiful blank canvas. It's a magical, profound creation point in which we all have capacity to do whatever it is that we want to do, to decide who we want to be in this moment, to own that sense of self, and to say, yeah, maybe this is who I was up until now, but from this moment on, I'm going to live my way. I'm never going to let anyone talk down to me again. I'm not going to let anyone tell me who I need to spend my time around, what I need to be doing with my sacred moment, this sacred present moment, this beautiful creation point that we have. That is the essence of living your way. And that is what each and every one of you, that's what I'm going to challenge each and every one of you to do, because we all give our power away in little minute ways all the time. I do it too. But I'm constantly checking in with myself and asking myself, who am I beholden to right now, right? Where am I leaking out my energy? Where am I allowing fear and doubt, right? That's being caving in on me from others, from other sides and from other people. Where am I allowing other people to steal my own sovereign destiny? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, no one can decide that for you. Wendy says, all of my unnecessary family relationships. Exactly, Wendy. And I think the family, give me a 1 if your family relationships have been one of the biggest reasons that you have not lived your life your way up until now. Give me a 1. Valerie says, to possess an energy so beautiful that it deflects negativity. Amen. Valerie's like, I fuck with this so hard. Valerie is vibing on what we're talking about today. And Valerie is a young lady who in her early 20s is living her life her way. She has separated herself from all the other 21, 22-year-olds who are just out there partying and being in their early 20s. She's decided that she is pursuing enlightenment. She is pursuing personal growth and healing and up-leveling her life and radical ownership and responsibility. She's adopting this stuff in her early 20s. Can you imagine where we would be? All of y'all who are my age or older, can you imagine where we would be right now if we took that level of ownership and had that level of self-awareness and proactivity with this? I mean, like, Valerie is setting herself up for just a beautiful journey of a life where she's going to get to dictate the terms of her life without being answering to anyone or anything outside of what she wants, what she needs, right? So how do we discover what's in alignment for us as we look towards the future? Okay, that's what we get to do. We get to ask ourselves, and we get to look, and we get to really question, how do we determine what's in alignment for us? Well, it starts with, how do the relationships and how do the different aspects of your life make you feel? Use your emotional guidance system. If something is not like my girlfriend did an incredible sort of challenge, right? Where she asked herself, does this feel expansive or contractive? I think that's a beautiful question to ask yourself. Does this aspect of your life, does this element of your life, does it make you feel like you're expanding, or does it make you feel like you're contracting, right? Anything that is harnessing and inviting you and activating you to expand, right? Expand in possibility, expand in joy, expand in freedom, expand in sense of, your personal power. That's something that is in alignment with who you truly are. Anything that is making you feel contractive, small, hiding, right? Hiding your voice, making you feel fearful, that is something that is contractive, and that is something that is not in alignment, right? It's not in alignment with what? With your higher self. So ask yourself, right? What are things in my life looking ahead that would make me feel expansive? Would it look like me starting to take singing lessons? That's something I want to start doing, because I love singing, y'all. I love singing karaoke. I want to get better at singing, right? I don't just want to be singing at karaoke bars. I'd like to sing, with somebody on a piano and belt out some jazz stuff, right? That's expansive to me. Is it necessarily a job? No. But would I love to do it from stage one day at one of my events? Absolutely. Doing stage events, doing live events, that feels very expansive to me. Automating my funnels for my courses so I have people flowing into my community, right, and into my business all the time. That feels very expansive for me. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, right? Doesn't mean I don't feel some fear around it. But when I think about it, when I connect with that, it feels expansive for me because it's going to give me more freedom. It's going to give me an opportunity to scale and grow my impact in the world, right? Without it coming so much at my own expense, energetically and emotionally. Does that make sense? So I'm citing my own example so that you can start doing that in your own life and asking yourself, right? What are some things that would feel super expansive for you? Because that's super powerful and super important, And let's see. Ann says, I'm walking in the joy of... So I want you to let me know in the chat, right? What does it look like and feel like for you to look forward in your life and say, if I'm doing things my way, this feels incredibly expansive for me, right? It's okay if you're scared, right? Sometimes expansion can be scary, right? But it shouldn't feel contractive for you. If you can tell the difference, there's a difference, right? Between something having resistance to something. A lot of times we're going to feel resistance to things that are expansive to us, right? Because our ego is constantly trying to keep us bottled up. But it's not your destiny to be bottled up. It's your destiny to live your highest and deepest, most authentic and aligned expression of who you were born to be. That's why you're here. That's the meaning of life, is to live it your way. That's it. Are y'all with me? Give me a 1 if y'all are with me. Ann says, I'm walking in the joy of living my way and with a man I am aligned to. Boom! That's my favorite thing of listening, favorite thing I love hearing from my magnets. It started with my choice to do only what I want to do. Right there, Ann. Look at that. You see what happens? You make that choice, just making a broad choice to only do what it is that you want to do, to only operate from within your zone of genius, to live your life on your terms, not anybody else's, right? And to not sacrifice your own needs, your own happiness for the sake of anybody else. That is the cornerstone. That is the linchpin of living your life your way. Okay? So, Olga Nan says, ain't nobody going to steal your sunshine. Yeah, Olga, no one's going to steal your sunshine unless you give it to them. Y'all feel me? That is not what we get to do anymore, all right? Dana says, I really got it when you said how painful it can be with an identity change. I'm not going to let someone tell me how to be. Exactly, Dana. Oh, and listen, live in your way. I mean, he says it in the song, right? I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of bruising, and now, as tears subside, I find it all quite so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. See, so when we look back, thank you very much. When we look back on these trials and tribulations of our lives, we can look back at them with a smile. We can look back at them with tears, right? But they're tears of joy, right? Because we were willing to suffer. We were willing to struggle for what was true to us. And at the end of the day, there is nothing more important than being willing to stand and have the courage to live your life your way. You know, when surrounded by so many people, so many sheeple who are willing to do the opposite. Because here's the thing, when people see you living your way, when people see you unapologetically owning your truth, when people see you, you know, going out there and just like going for your life, a lot of people are going to say, who the hell are you? How dare you try to go out there and do that? Who are you to walk away from being a lawyer after you just spent all this money and all this time? You're really going to disrespect your parents like that? You know, you're going to disrespect your alma mater like that? By not suffering for the next 30, 40 years in a soul-destroying career. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, who the hell are you? And the question I want to switch around for it, right, is that I want to shift around, is that who the hell are you to not do that? Who the hell are you to live your life for anybody else? Who the hell are you to sacrifice your truth, your purpose, your destiny for the sake of anybody else? So, yeah, give the naysayers the finger. Exactly. Just let it go. Let it all go. Let all this pressure, all these expectations from everybody else go, and realize nobody else can shoot your shot for you. And it is up to you to shoot yo shot. Are y'all with me? Give me one if y'all are with me. So just to recap here, Nicole says, made a ballsy move and told the boss I'm taking Fridays off. She said no. I said bye, and suddenly she says yes. See right there, look at that, what Nicole did. She unapologetically said, boom, this is what I want. And her boss said no. And so then she had the courage to be willing to walk away. And then her boss capitulated. She took the blows and she did it her way. You see what I'm saying? So each one of you, whatever that looks like, recognize when you decide to make a choice, when you decide to shift a path, and people have gotten locked in seeing you and experiencing you a certain way and on a certain path, you're gonna get some pushback on that. Be ready for that. Be willing for the blow. Be ready for the blows. Be ready for the judgment. Be ready for the shitty comments from your friends and family. Because that's all part of the deal. That's called the price of admission for your own greatness. That's called the price of admission. That is the ticket price for you to live your life on your terms, is to have a lot of people look at you like you're fucking crazy. Is to have a lot of people say, well, that's probably not going to work. You're probably going to fail. You're dumb for trying that. And there's no greater reason that people sacrifice their own life and sacrifice their own happiness and sacrifice their own purpose and give away their lives than fear of being judged by the people that they love and fear of failing in front of the people that they love. And here's the deal. Once you make that choice, and once you step out on your path, and once you actually start getting traction on it, you start moving towards you, guess what happens? All those people that were, poo-pooing and naysaying and questioning you and fucking being all, dowdy and trying to pull you back, once you actually succeed, once you actually start moving down that path, guess what they say? They say, I believed in you the whole time. I always knew you could make it. They immediately switch course. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, I knew you had it in you all along. I was just looking out for your best interests, And again, it's not because these people are bad people. They just have a different frame of reference for your life because they are not you. Are you with me? So these people are not the enemy. They're not the devil. They're not evil. They're just not you. And they're projecting their own fear and their own values and their own limitations and their own bullshit into your life and trying to be like, well, if I were you, I wouldn't do that. And that's when you say, well, fortunately, you're not me. And I'm not particularly invested in your opinion of what I'm doing either way, particularly if it's not in alignment with the way that I want to go. So, opinions are like, buttholes, right? Everyone's got them and they all stink, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people are saying and thinking about you. All that matters is you believe, you are fulfilled, and you are aligned with the actions that you're taking in the direction that you're moving in. So if that looks like entrepreneurship and starting your own business, you do not have a choice. You get to go forward into that. If you want to be single for a while, if you want to be in a new relationship, your partner, your current partner might not agree with you on that. In fact, he probably won't. But guess what? That's a him problem. That is not a you problem. Are you with me? So give me a 1 if you are committed to living your life your way. Give me a 1 if you are committed to operating and embodying the Matt Challenge for this week. Give me a 1 if you are committed to compassionately looking at the people around you who look at you like you're insane when you're living your life your way and say, you know what? I admire and respect y'all's opinion, but that opinion is not going to dictate my path. They're just operating from love, right? They're operating from love, but you know what? Their love does not get to be your life because it is your sovereign duty. It is your cosmic destiny. It is your sacred responsibility to live your life your way. No matter what the cost, no matter what the pain, no matter what the discomfort, no matter what the pushback that you're feeling and experiencing. It doesn't matter. Hi, Mama. Mom just joined. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. A day late, although I did wish it to you yesterday, too, and we talked for a while as I was clearing out my flower beds. Look at how nice my flower beds look. Aren't they nice? I dug them all up yesterday while I was talking to my mom. It was a beautiful practice. It was a beautiful experience. Elodie says, that's so good. Thank you. Thank you, Elodie. So I hope this inspires y'all to get out there and live your life in unapologetic alignment, to live your life your way. Because I can tell you, won't always be easy, but there is nothing more important. There's nothing more fulfilling. There's nothing more expansive. And all that matters for you is that you are expanding, not contracting in the trajectory of your life and the decisions that you're making and the relationships that you are sharing each and every day. So I hope this resonated with you. I hope you get out into the world and you go out and live this philosophy in your life and you check in with yourself often, not just this week, but forever. And you say, you know what? Am I living my life my way? And if I'm not, what's it going to take for me to shift into that space? Beth says, 1, choosing where I put my energy, attention, and focus. Committed. Yes, Beth, that's what I'm talking about. Carmela's in, Tracy's in, Luis is in, Valerie, Anne, boom, Dana, Olga, Wendy's aligned with the Matt Challenge for this week. Love it. Valerie says, I've been really nervous about going to Costa Rica in August. This is my sign to do it. There you go, Valerie. Although it's in November if you're coming with us. Awesome. Dana says, I'm attending an online retreat soon that's going to do some serious healing work. Yes, it is, Dana. Set that freaking intention and get out there, y'all. Live your life in unapologetic alignment. Have a great week. I love y'all dearly, and I will see you next week on Mondays with Matt. Lots of love, y'all. Bye-bye.